Wow, man, this is crazy. I think my Harley would kick that thing's ass. Anyways, yeah, this is nuts. This is nuts. Oh man, fuck. You wanna, watch a boomer go crazy? Give him technology, a laptop, a home computer, and a fucking phone, and tell him to figure this shit out. Oh, and SlowNet, SnailNet. I don't know what you guys call SlowNet. Uh, you know, it's nuts. It's nuts. Hey, I apologize. I was trying to do a live stream using my what do you call it? The OBS thing there, Streamlabs. What do you do? What do you do with that shit? But I wish to, I ain't giving up, man. You don't go down without a fight. That's not Canadian. Fuck Canadians. Okay, nationalists. I mean, old stock Canadians don't go down without a fight. I don't know what's going on with the new people, but it's crazy. We got this weirdo. I don't even know how he got into that fascist right wing, racist liberal government, right? But all I heard, I can only look at certain faces for so long before I just want to puke. And I got to do something to save. I didn't want to hurt feelings, and that's all I heard about his new law that they're going to pass through. Listen, if you're going to take over the free world, first thing you got to do is you got to shut down free speech. You have to shut down communications. You have to shut down travel. And you have to shut down the churches and places where folks meet and gather and speak. Communication overall. So far, they're doing it. So far, hey, there's nothing going on. There's nothing going on except for whatever they're staging. This is all done through Hollywood. Whatever they're fucking staging, that's what they're doing. I'm sure they they all have their state actors. There was, some people showed up at that building south of us. There was a few actors that have been arrested in the past for working for the racist, fascist, liberal bunch. But other than that, really, there wasn't much going on there. I mean, compared to everything we saw over the last 6 months or whatever with those other, with the rest of the bunch, that, they get busted for burning down businesses and killing innocent people and everything else, and then they're let out of jail. Did you guys see that one dude there? What was he in for? He got arrested for some heinous crime, and they released him early. They released him out of jail on his own recognizance. I can't remember if they... But anyways, he kills a guy walking his dog. But, hey, the fascists, are racist. And you don't, these fascist, racist liberals don't give a shit about somebody because they're the wrong color. Right? So that, they're telling you everything they're doing. They're telling you everything, systemic, when they started talking about systemic racism that never did really exist, that I've ever seen in our culture. Besides, maybe some established, the fascist, racist liberals coming out with the Indian Act and that kind of crap. But really, systemic racism didn't exist until they created it. And now, people are the wrong color, so they can't receive any kind of grants or loans for their businesses. I don't know why anybody would be applying for a grant or a loan from these characters anyways, because most businesses are under lockdown. from the other fascist liberal bunch. You know, if you think, we need a good, I don't know, normal. We need good people to act as public servants, man. Where are they? Where are they? You can't tell me that the whole country's gone tard, full tard. Or is it just that few fascist, racist, bigots that took over, all the nations of the free world and working in, conjunction like an orchestra. Da, 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 da. But yeah, so if you hurt feelings, they're gonna knock you off the net. The guy with the beard, the criminal, one of the criminals that the fascists have in their, I don't know if a heritage minister, I guess he's called. I guess that's his title. I guess that's his, what is that? His, second person, right? He acts as heritage minister in trust. For who? For fucking who? You don't want to protect the heritage of the nation because that has to do with freedom and freedom of expression, freedom of movement, and the right to property. Your God-given rights, the supremacy of God. Now, can't have that. No, fuck no. No. We all have to become fascists now. It's funny how they, I'd like to go on Urban Dictionary and get this stuff straight. Right wing is, like the liberals are right wing fascists. Everybody calls all the weirdos I know, they call the Nazis, right wing. But to have a socialist government, that's when they take over business, right? They take over the business. That's socialism, which didn't work in Europe, so they went to free enterprise right away because the government couldn't own, and they're a free enterprise, so they're not really, Norway and Finland and that they're free countries with they're Napoleonic civil law. They're civil law countries, right? And they have a social conscience and for the most part, and free enterprise, so private business. We really don't have private business because as soon as you register a business with the corporate body trust, then they become the co-parent of that business and tell you how to run your business, right? They give you certain rules and this is how you're going to run it. If it was private business, it'd be private, and that way whoever's property said private business is how that runs. Simple. But hey, you could get a trespass ticket for being on public property now. Telling you that a hospital is now private property. Telling you that, a parliament building is private property. Telling you a legislative building, a public library is all private property now, and you get trespassed. And I don't even know where you get trespassed. You've been trespassed. I don't even know what that fucking means. You do trespass. So everything going down in the States is, the bigots and the fascists, the right-wing liberal corporation is just kind of using that to have all their excuses to make sure that this becomes the police state even faster, quicker, bigger, So, I don't know, I talk lots about, I thought my rant was pretty good. It's too bad I don't know, lips didn't match the words, but whatever, fuck it, I'll just keep going on. I don't mean to swear, but I worked for years Try not to swear, which is why I don't speak at church. If I do go to church, finding a good church is hard, though. I got spoiled, man. I sat under a guy that really knew his stuff, and you get fed meat and bugs and grass, just candy, smells sweet, goes into your mouth and turns bitter in your stomach. That's what I find at most churches these days. So I just don't. I got nothing to say. And most folks there, agree with the bigots and the fascists at the Liberal government. So I we really don't have much in common. The freedom of expression is property of I. The freedom of movement is property of I. I mean, to interfere with these things is a trespass. Period, and end of story. So basically, folks within this nation are down to the courts. Oh, that was a sweet deal, though, that I did see about the BC Supreme Court allowing folks to now sue big tech for interfering with their right to speak. They interfere with their platform. Now you're either a publisher or you're not a publisher. I'm publishing this. I'm using a platform. So they have immunity, those agents. They have immunity from what I say publicly from this public platform. And so therefore they have no right to interfere because they're not the publisher. So, and I mean, everybody knows that. And this whole idea, I have yet to see, I was looking in documents, and I've yet to see the terms or the words that say it's against the law to hurt somebody's feelings by the freedom of your expression, by free speech. Hope that's not too loud. But I've yet to find that. But that's what this. Yeah, you see all these dudes in Hollywood. I mean, at Parliament with the wannabe beards. You see all these guys? They all got them. It's like, what, dude? Dude. Fuck, they're all dudes. An old expression that I know from my past, from my forefathers, from the way of my people. That a dude is a veterinary term, and it's a word on a horse's cock, and that's why when the city slickers used to come out in the 20s to the ranches to ride on weekends, everybody called them dudes, dude ranches, right? You figure it out. But the dictionary says something else, but I just know the way of my people. It's been handed down through folklore, the law of the family, the customs of my people, the way of my people. So, I had something to say this morning. I spieled off. I didn't get anything up, but I did want to apologize for my bad technical skills and bad technology. I don't know what the fuck to do about it. Time I get up here, but I sure. I was checking out Twitch. I thought, well, the Twitch live streams, I don't know what kind of restrictions they have. And I was trying to use my Streamlabs so I could streamline through YouTube off the phone. So my next step is I could bring my laptop up here. I don't know where the fuck I'm going to put it and do a live stream. Because I'd sure love to know what folks are thinking, like where they're at. Like, and talking to folks, it does give me an idea on which person they believe they are, and how they act. And it's easy to tell when you converse with folks. Basically, Trudeau Sr. told us years ago that, if you don't fucking like it, go to court. And like when he first came out with the FACs, which were totally unconstitutional. They have absolutely no right to lord over guns. You cannot find that anywhere. You say to me, yeah, but you know, you don't see anywhere your right to bear arms. Yeah. Well, it actually goes back in the common law, and of course, every man, every woman has the right to property. No, maybe there's a law that says you can't bring it in public, but that doesn't mean that you know, they can outlaw a man's property. And just because you call it a bat or a this or a that, I call it property. It's as simple as that, you know. Like Canadian money. You know, you call it Canadian money, I call it property. Property of Al. That's property of Al, that's property of Al, that's property of Al. You call it a motor vehicle, I call it property. You know? But who the fuck are you to basically, how do you say it? You know, manage my property. Like, who the fuck are you to decide, you know, what my property is or what my property isn't? One more thing I want to touch on. You know, I'm talking to a guy today who's been listening to a lot of common law stuff, and you know, and he's going. You know, people are still going on. You want to get stuck in this whole fucking birth certificate thing, and the fraud. There's no fucking fraud. No, that trust company, right? That trust company created a trust. And in return for the trust, they gave everyone of and from this land a certificate, a valuable warehouse certificate. There's no fraud. The fact that you're not adult enough, that you're not a mature in your life to act as a woman or a man, to know the difference whether you wish to stand under a benefit through that valuable warehouse certificate, or if you wish not to. Now, just because you wish not to doesn't mean that you may not wish to. So right now I could say, hey, you know, I'm not that person. But in 5 minutes from now I could decide, hey, I see a benefit there. It's not going to cause any harm, loss, or injury to I and my family. So yeah, now I am. So, you know, so like, people are wasting their time, you know, chasing around that stupid fucking birth certificate bullshit. You know, also, another guy says to me, you know, I carry my, it's just a government document. It says there was a guy born on the land. It's not Canadian. It comes from the province, right? You know, so does the birth certificate. But you know, he goes, people are telling me they're having trouble. I don't know why they're having so much fucking trouble. But you don't need any government paperwork. You don't need to possess any government paperwork if you're a man or a woman. Your testimony at open court is the highest. You know, is the highest, right? At open court, as long as it's an open venue. And what I mean by that is if it's not an open court, I don't want to be there. It's pretty much that simple. But your testimony under oath or affirmation is highest, and that claim that you make on the stand. Yes, I am man, and I may be addressed as Alan. Okay, you may address me as Alan. I'm giving you permission to address me, but I ain't giving you my name. Nobody stole your name when they created the birth certificate. You know, how many Al Kings are there in the world? Fuck, I was looking in the Chinese phone book one time. There's a shitload of them. Al Kings. I was looking in the Middle East, Saudi Arabia, I think. Shitload of Al Kings there. So, you know, nobody stole anything. But that doesn't mean I'm going to give you my name to use. Right? So there's an Al King that is an it, the third person, created by the corporate body trust. And then there's the man, Al King. Now, I'm not confused who is who and what is what, okay? And the fact that people just can't wrap their head around the difference between an it and the man. Okay. And I've said this before. It's like a buddy of mine was on the phone with the judge. They were holding court on the phone, and he said to the guy in the black robe, his name was Leahy. Yeah, it really was Leahy. But he says, "Who are you?" And the man on the other side of the phone that was acting as the judge, he says, "Well, I'm Judge Leahy." And he says, "Hey, man, I didn't ask you what you are. I asked you who you were." You see, that man knew the difference of what something is and who someone is. To whom do I refer? You may address me as Al. There. Simple. End of story. Wow. And people are worried about something else somebody talked to me about. They're all worried about, well, I'm having trouble with it, getting this and that. Should I notarize? And should I? There's no need for any of that stuff. Listen, with the way things are coming down, you want to live in fear, you just go ahead and live in fear. But the way things are coming down, everybody that's hiding their heads, everybody that's ducking, everybody that's hiding on the, in the ditch on the side of the roads, they don't get counted. Everybody that's hiding in their fucking basement, you're already known. Okay? They've got something in China right now, like in their social, 5G fucking, what they call social credit thing, which that's what they're doing here now. But they got in China. It's not about just doing anything that turns you into a fucking dissident or whatever they call you, right? Somebody who badmouths a cop, somebody who badmouths this or bad. They come down hard, man. I've seen people in chains and cruel fucking tables and shackles, and it's just amazing what those guys can do. And these are the ones that own the fascists, bigots, racists, liberals. I think they own all those parties. I think they own every one of those parties. Because, okay, but yeah, I'll go back. So yeah, fucking. So it's not just somebody who steps out of line socially there that gets the torture and has to sign documents saying blah 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 and on and on and on. They got something also called, I think it's called common people, commoner. So like if you don't make waves but you don't gain anything, if you're just kind of going in and keeping your head down, they also haul you into the cop shop as well to be interrogated. Why aren't you doing this and why aren't you doing that? Well, why don't we ever see you here? How come we're not seeing you there? As if you're hiding something. And that's exactly what these folks are going to do to you. So if you think you can hide in your basement, collect your fucking paycheck for not going to work, why 40 or 60%, okay, 60% of the country doesn't get a paycheck for not going to work, all right? Well, how many of those folks are well enough to let's say 20% of those folks are well off enough to not worry about it for a time, and so there's 30%, let's say, left. 30%, maybe 40%, 20% of folks who have absolutely nothing because of what your public servants are doing to you right now. Over what? And the more evidence, the more it shows that there is no state emergency, the more they double down on the state emergency as they fly off to exotic lands, have a good time, get their paycheck, got their benefits, they got everything. Nobody's speaking up. I saw that thing from the Tool. That's what I think of him. But I saw that thing from the Tool. We won't put up with any, right-wing extremists. But guy, Tool, the right-wing extremists are the government. They're the ones attacking free speech. They're the ones who are attacking folks They're the ones chaining folks, ticketing folks, dragging folks through court. Just folks. They're the ones letting pedophiles out of jail. They're the ones letting bad wrongdoers out of prison, out of jail. So what the fuck is going on? What do you mean? So Tool, when you said you won't put up with the right wing, were you saying that, hey, you're going to be different than the liberals? Is that what you're saying? Because that's who they are. You know, I had a lot of hopes for Max last year, just because of his common sense and stuff, which is now considered by the racist liberals that now common sense is extreme. But that's all part of the plan. This is worldwide. It's not limited to a country. It's not limited to a party. It's not limited to a president. It's not limited to a single leader. Okay, this is a worldwide plan. It's happening all over the planet. You got to get rid of the free world. You got to get rid of freedom, so that Gates can seed the atmosphere, block out the sun, and kill us all with no food. Yay. But that's who's running the world. All those clowns with their bright ideas. Right? So I don't know what we're going to do. People are talking about, calling an election. So what if there's an election? There's nobody to fucking vote for it. The only thing I can suggest is if you're hooked up to cable, if you're hooked up to satellite, dump it. Get rid of it. Just get rid of it. If you got a smart TV in your house, they can look in your house. They can watch it. If you have a smart TV in your house, it's very easy for somebody to look inside your house and watch it. I hope you don't make sex on the couch in front of the TV while you're watching a movie with your beautiful partner. Because they can watch you. Yeah. Never happened. I'll never watch smart TV ever. If it comes down to that, hey, you can't watch anything, can't go on the net, or you can't do this, can't do that. In fact, I guess it's all going to go. I don't give a shit. But what I can do is I know how I can stand at court as man and protect property, and that includes my rights and property. Same word, guys. To stand and protect my property at court. Now, the day that court doesn't recognize man and property, and I'm talking about the jurisdiction of a court that can see man, because statutory court is not really high enough to see man. I think they did make some I don't know, a traffic court or something. They made some kind of allowances for something or to another, but it's still a statutory court. It's not the court of man, right? And I don't know if one in the black robe would know what to do when, I've stood at statutory courts, magistrate courts, and they just don't know what to do when there's a man at court. They yell at you, you get threatened, and you always ask questions, and that's what I tell people. If you're standing at court, like if somebody's bringing my ass to court, I want to know who it is. Period. I need to know who it is. Who the fuck is it? Well, it's the crown, it's the state, it's the country, it's this, it's that. Okay, are they here today? Right? Well, get on the fucking stand and testify under oath or affirmation that I did wrong. If you're not willing to testify, because I'm here to settle this matter in honor, and if you're not here to testify at open court that I do wrong, then there is no case. It's pretty much that fucking simple, folks. So, whether you're in a statutory jurisdiction, or if you're if you're at a statutory jurisdiction, or if you're at a jurisdiction of inherent jurisdiction, basically the King's Court, the place where the people can be heard. I know, another bad word, but the place where one of mankind can be heard. Because the Queen and the land are one, the people and the land are one. The Queen serves the people at her leisure, at her pleasure. Okay? She acts as your public servant. I know, all bad words. But she acts as public servant to everyone. Okay? She's the agent. She's the one who protects the faith. Right? And on an equal footing, everyone else has the right to protect the faith. Everyone else has the right to serve another at their leisure. So, nobody can take that right away from you because it's property. And if they do, then they're wrongdoers. They commit the trespass. They, whatever. So, I guess that's all I got to say today. I know I was watching all the shit, all the alarms and everything went off in Washington earlier, and it turned out to be a homeless shelter behind, not even a shelter, just an encampment of homeless folks that are under a bridge behind Capitol Hill. One of their propane tanks went up. Geez, you think with 35,000 militia there, somebody would have said, hey, who's keeping an eye on the homeless? Oh, that's BLM, don't worry about it. Oh, the liberal, racist, fascists. Yeah. Bigots. And I only come to that because Tool come out publicly and, stated that, it won't have any of that extremist right-wing stuff. So being the leader of a conservative, so-called conservative party, he must have meant the liberal, fascist, racist that don't give out loans to or grants to folks because they're not, their pigment isn't dark enough or light enough or whatever their new systemic issue is. Trudeau did come out and tell us, hey, there's a systemic race issue in the government. Now I can see it. Yeah, you ain't dark enough. So and maybe that's why, he paints himself so dark. Because, maybe that's, I don't know. I have no fucking clue about that turkey. I think he's a child. I think he's a fucking turd. He's just like a yes boy puppet thing. Like we got nothing but clowns. The good book reads that, you get the government you deserve. Boy, Canada, we in trouble. We got the turd and we got the tool. If it was a useful tool, it'd, scoop up that turd and toss it. But I have, no hope whatsoever in politics whatsoever. I'm pointing this way, Ottawa's that way. Fucking absolutely none. There is nobody. There's one guy I see who's like he's the only one who does anything for the Conservatives whatsoever. He's the only one that stands and puts his point across. The only one. How do we all vote for one guy? How do we all vote for one guy with a fucking party system? Can't. I'd vote for the guy in a second just to see what real balls he has as a leader. But I'm sure, I'm sure that the old Dominion wouldn't. I don't think he's allowed. Which is fine. At least somebody says something about something, eh? Or somebody's doing something about something, eh? So I apologize for my lame attempt at a live stream yesterday. I thought I could pull it off, but I'm gonna keep trying. I know on the home computer, right? But I just don't have the speed, the upload speed. I can do it through there, and I learned how to do it, but it didn't work out. I tried last spring a couple times, and it was sad. It was beyond sad. So, but it would be nice to get questions from folks so that I could converse with you about stuff. I might just happen to know something about something. Maybe I don't. Maybe I'm just full of shit. Maybe there is no man. Maybe there is no first, second, and third person. Maybe there is no court, right? Maybe it's just all a show, right? Maybe it's all administrative hearings. All I can tell you or attest to is what I've seen, what I have experienced when I have had to stand and pass through the fire. And this is what I've seen. So when we do lose the courts, and I'm saying when because if folks keep hiding and aren't writing letters to your MPs, to your MLAs, your MPPs, whatever, if you're not writing letters, letting them know what they're doing is wrong, then if you're just showing up at a protest and you don't have a document that precedes you, you know, and that's great. You want to go, if you want to go down and protest, personally, I go down and assemble. I'm not healed enough. I ain't going in no fucking crowds. I waited years for this operation. Just when I thought I was going to get it, I had to wait another frickin', well, not quite a year, but 10 months, something like that. So, yeah. So, like, if you're gonna attend, you know, assemble yourself or protest or whatever it is you feel you need to do, then write a letter. Let them know. Let Mo know, you know, in Saskatchewan. Let Kenny know in Alberta. I mean, those two are the closest thing to a normal provincial government we have. This clown here, you know, the guy that called an election illegally, but hey, it's their shit. They're the legal society, you know, so he can break his own rules. But this clown here, he calls it so he knew he could get a majority because of he was taking a soft approach with folks. And now he's looking at it going, okay, well, how can I get around the rules to institute the shit that the racist and fascist bigots wish me to do? And so he's sitting there trying to fucking figure this shit out. You know, it's crazy. It's crazy. But there's only a 90, what is it? Like, I'm old, right? So I think with me, I think I'm still at the 99.7% recovery rate of the whatever the fuck it is out there that was produced in China. I read something earlier today that the guy, that the face changing guy, you know, the racist in Ottawa. I heard something earlier that he was keeping it, helping keeping it hidden about the CCP, you know, making this Kung Flu. And I'm thinking to myself, well, how the fuck everybody knows where it was made? You know, everything's made in China now. Everybody knows where it came from. How the fuck did he, like, if he was trying to keep that secret, he certainly did a terrible job. Yeah, throw your satellites and get rid of TV, man. Get rid of CTV. Get rid of CBC. I mean, you know, look at CNN now. You know, all MSN down there. They're going, oh, we got to stop. We got to stop our rivals. We can't have competition. They don't have the same narrative of us racist, bigot, systemic motherfuckers in the liberal government, right? We have to stop it now. So we got to get rid of our competition. Whereas we just got this dude, this heritage minister dude, that's just gonna, you know, outlaw hurt feelings. But I have yet to see any paperwork, terms or English, that protect people from hurt feelings. Sorry, dude. So yeah, hey, so if you're gonna go assemble somewhere, you know, let the government know. Write them a letter, right? And let them know, hey, I'm going to be, you know, I'm going to partake in the freedom of assembly, and if the freedom of assembly has been outlawed, just let me know. If it hasn't, just don't bother. You know, if you don't let me know, obviously we have an agreement of the parties that there is no law that outlaws the freedom of assembly. And there you go. There's your document for court, right? Or there's one of your documents for court. You know. lawyers are getting lots of work, and God bless. Why is Rebel News? Well, they're coming after Rebel, but why is Rebel News like the only community-orientated news broadcasting system that we have pretty much everywhere? You say, well, yeah, there's a bunch of little guys and this and that. Yeah, I know, but why are they the only, ones crowdfunding and that I've seen? I haven't seen True North crowdfunding for folks. I don't see the Sun, Brian Lilly crowdfunding. Fuck, he's pushing that poison stuff. He's all upset that everybody can't get their poison from the fascist, bigot, racists. It's just like, what is wrong with people? Anyways, yeah. So question authority, and learn how to open your mind, think a bit, and remember, you are presumed to be an it, the third person, the infant, okay, the defendant, the debtor, until you break the presumption. So go ahead and break the presumption. Sit down at the table and write yourself up a document and make sure your public servants get it. Break that presumption. Cheers, guys.